Hello Flickering Myth family and welcome to our channel. My name is EJ and we have a new movie review. In this video, we are breaking down The Cannibal Love Story directed by Luca Guadagnino. Yes, we are talking about Bones and All. When I was walking into Bones and All, I was quite excited for this. Luca Guadagnino is a filmmaker I've fallen in love with in recent years. While I was a bit mixed on Call Me By Your Name, more about the source material than anything, I loved Suspiria. I thought that was one of the best horror films of that year. Now, with Bones and All, I was delighted by this. I kept thinking in my head, is this going to be like a cannibal, a R-rated version of Twilight? And I wasn't too far off. There was such a Romeo and Juliet type of atmosphere to this love story, but I got a little bit more Bonnie and Clyde from these two characters more than anything else. But I just actually was invested in this hopeless teen romance. They're a bit more young adults, but you know, that kind of age group, that kind of story that we're so used to seeing. We've seen, you know, the Divergent, the Hunger Games, the Kissing Booth, all those damn teen romance stuff. We've seen a lot of them in recent years, but we've never seen one so filthy, so gory, so beautiful, and so moody and atmospheric. This movie has a lot going for it. I was quite surprised at every turn. Is it a bit slow at times? Yes, with its running time, I would have definitely chopped off maybe 10 minutes somewhere. There was these weird cannibal characters that we met. Everyone's a cannibal, but these two specific ones were very creepy cannibals. I would have maybe cut their characters. They really didn't add anything to the overall story, but there's still a lot in here that I did enjoy. Taylor Russell and Timothee Chalamet eat this movie up, no pun intended. But speaking of chewing up scenery, Rylance gives one of my favorite supporting performances of the year. He is banana cuckoo pants crazy. This whole movie gets to that level. It's a slow ride to get there, but by the end it is so graphic, so in your face that I was delighted. This was one of my surprises of the year. I knew I was going to like it, but I did not expect to love it. Marin is a young girl played by Taylor Russell. She's the character we follow through most of Bones and All. We do spend some time with Timothée Chalamet's character, but it's mostly focused on Marin. She is a young girl who's basically abandoned by her father, who cannot deal with her cannibal ways anymore. He's been dealing with this since she's a child. We get a lot of great exposition through a recording he left her. She plays this tape throughout the whole film, and I really think that kind of fleshes out her character. We also really get some good backstory information about the cannibalness, which is called the Eaters, from Rylance's character. She is a eater she meets throughout her journey, who pops back up at very interesting times of her life, but the one she meets on her journey is another young eater named Lee, played by Timothée Chalamet, who is his usual beautiful, crazy twink self in this. He somehow is the sleaziest man on earth, but also very endearing. He plays these kind of characters very well. The Elio character from Call Me By Your Name really stands out as a character I could not stand, but I also believe that's kind of the character's vibe, and I think he played it very well. I loved Chalamet in The King. I thought he was one of the only good parts about Dune. I really like him as an actor, and I really think he brings something to this. The only complaint I have about these two and this story in general is they don't feel like they made it their own. I feel like you could have hired any hot 20-something actress for this. I mean, put Tom Holland and Zendaya here. Put any of the cast of Euphoria by any chance. I mean, Lucas Hedges and another beautiful girl. Like, there is just so many different actors who could have played these roles, but I do enjoy what Taylor and what Timothée added here, what they could have brought with their abilities. I love Taylor Russell since I saw her in Escape Room, and then she was in Waves. She's a young actress I really enjoy, and she had a lot of heavy lifting with this, a lot of crazy material to deal with, and she dealt with it so well. Guadagnino as a director always makes some interesting choices. This movie is filled with them. It's surprisingly extremely gory, but it's not too often. It's also just interesting what he chose to leave in. There are some moments where people are like snotting out of their face. He keeps that in. There's drool coming out of people's faces, like the flies in certain scenes. He keeps certain things in his movies to make it really feel fleshed out. We're seeing a director so confident, so chill in their ability, and he just does whatever he wants. I love the direction of this film. There's so many beautiful shots. There's so many shots of just nothing, but I was able to just be absorbed by it, just watching them just sit here and have moments with each other, but I'm also taking in the gorgeous backdrop, especially that last shot of this film. Whoa, so gorgeous. Yeah, there's a lot in this movie that I was just very impressed with, from the directing, the cinematography, but also the score. Oh my god, Atticus Ross, Trent Reznor, wow, another good score, but so different than their other ones. This one brought me back to things like Brokeback Mountain and just those westerns. This has the road trip atmosphere to it, so they felt very western in their music choices, in their score, other than, you know, that great Kiss needle drop in here, which I love the Kiss album they referenced. I like a lot of the choices that were made here. I've seen so many horror films, so many romance movies, I've seen so many films that are similar to this, but they don't make as many bold choices as they made here. I mean, from the acting, the directing, the score, the cinematography, everything was a bold choice. Even the type of gore they used and how brutal it felt next to something so soft and gentle as other parts of the movie. There's a lot going for this, and I have to say, I'm overall very impressed and very delighted. This comes with a big recommendation for fans of romance films, the love stories, very twisted love stories, but also people who love the horror genre. There's enough horror in here to really hold you guys over. Alright everyone, that is it for my review of Bones and All. You want to eat this movie up, Bones and All. It is just that delicious. I enjoyed it, but what did you all think of this movie? What do you think of this review? Share your feelings down in the comments below. Subscribe to Flickering Myth because we make videos like this every single week, and give me a thumbs up if you did enjoy. Alright everyone, let's talk about Bones and All, Timothee Chalamet, Taylor Russell, and movies like this down below.